If my personality creates my personal reality, and my personality is made of how I think, how I act, and how I feel, if I want to create a new personal reality, a new life, I'm going to have to change my personality. And most people try to create a new reality, a new personal reality, as the same personality, and it doesn't work. We literally have to become someone else. So if you said, okay, let me not default and go unconscious to that 95% of who I am that's programmed. Let me become so conscious of the way I think. Let me become so aware of how I'm going to act today. Let me decide what emotions keep me connected to my past and bring me to a lower level of energy. Let me not go unconscious. And then if you said, okay, if a belief is just a thought I keep thinking over and over again, what thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain? And with attention and with intention.
If you can get a mental image of the person you would most like to become, begin now to act as that person would act in everything you do. Gradually, imperceptibly, you will actually become that person. It goes back to what the great German poet and philosopher Goethe once said. Before you can do something, you must first be something. Before you can do what you would most like to do, you must first become the person who can do it. A woman cooking dinner has only to act like a great chef to turn out a better meal. The student who begins to act like a top student will begin to get better grades. You can even look much better by simply acting like the person you would most like to look like and be like.
I think there's something really cool happening in the world when people believe in themselves. And when you believe in yourself, you have to believe in possibility. When you believe in possibility, you have to believe in yourself. So
if they open your head, they find no thoughts, they find no desires, they find no dreams, and yet, here, want to do something? Just stop for a minute. Right now, take your mind and hear your mother's voice. Well, if you want to. If you don't like that, hear your son's voice or hear somebody's voice. But do it seriously for me for a minute, because there are people here that haven't heard this before. And just bear with me. What I'm trying to say is that you can draw to your mind out of your store bank, your computerized store bank, instantly a voice. Elvis Presley. Listen to him saying, one for the money, two for... Bang. The voice of Elvis Presley, you can hear the tone of somebody else's voice. You can draw it right into your mind instantly. Yet if a doctor opens your brain, where's Elvis Presley? He's not. I don't see Elvis Presley in here. Well, you don't have any records in there. You don't have any tapes in there. Where does it come from? So it's cosmic thought. It manufactures itself, yet it does not exist because it activates itself through the electronics of your brain. But yet it is a real situation. It is a real thing.
Whatever we say is what our life will be. And so if we are saying, I don't have enough money, then by law of attraction, we will not have enough money. We will continue to not have enough money. So what we have to do is we need to speak about what we want. And we need to talk about, for example, if it's money or if it's health or if we're not feeling really great, then we can talk about what it feels like to be really well instead of talking about not being well, right? Because if we're talking about not being well, we're attracting more of that, more of that, more of that.
And when I didn't know what my purpose was, I just said, I'm going to be joy, and that is purpose. And things started to unfold in my life. Financial opportunities, people wanted to be around me more, and they wanted to help me. I didn't know why, except for that I brought joy and happiness. So I want people to know that, when you bring joy, even if you don't know what direction you're heading, or what should I do next, or the next chapter of my life, joy unlocks opportunities, like you said.
The first thing people always ask me is, what do you feel about the world? Do you know, oh my gosh, it's a mess. And I just say, everything's unfolding perfectly. It really and truly is. Yeah. It's unfolding perfectly. And the same for everybody. And somebody might be going through a really rough diagnosis, but from where I am, there's no end for any of us.
Really?
No. We are consciousness. There's no end.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not going to end even if there's a bad diagnosis in our life.
This is just the vehicle. This is just the car. you know, that we're using to travel around in the world.
Whatever it is that you would like to do better, act as though you're a top-flight expert at it. And if you continue to play this part long enough, you will become an expert. When Arnold Palmer was 10 years old and on his way to becoming the world's greatest golfer of his time, he used to pretend that he was playing in national tournaments. He would even pretend to be the sports commentator announcing that the champion, Arnold Palmer, was now getting ready to tee off. You can take a great many strokes off your golf game simply by pretending you're playing in a great tournament, and that every time you swing or putt, you're surrounded by a large gallery and the television cameras. You'll find that you take more time, line up your shots better, and swing more like the pros and less like the duffers.
A habit isn't a bad thing. They can work for you or they can work against you. The problem is if you're, as an example, complaining and blaming and making excuses and feeling sorry for yourself and judging other people, and you practice that and you get really good at whatever you practice that enough times that you're unconscious to the fact that you're doing it. The moment you become conscious that you want to change that, you're going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel unfamiliar. It's going to feel some degree of uncertainty. You're leaving kind of familiar known territory and you're stepping into the unknown. And so many people, when they want to change a habit, they have to be willing to be uncomfortable to do it.
Most of us become very lethargic. We don't concentrate on anything. What do? You can join me. You get up in the morning, you have breakfast, you have a little sex, we got to the job, and you go on, and you don't do anything. Concentrating on nothing. Or a million things coming in all different directions, you know? And then you become like me. I'm looking over, where are my glasses? Where are they? Oh, I lost my glasses. Did I leave them? Are they in the car? I don't know where they are. Oh, geez, they're on my head. I don't know where they are. Because everything is flying in all different directions. That's okay. But the way we are now, and the way you are now, and the way I am now is a product of the way that you have been taught in the past. The way you're going to be in the future will be the product of how you are now. And so it's a question of exercising, it's a question of concentrating, it's a question of mind power that comes from meditation to open up this magnificent power to you.
The same thoughts lead to the same choices. The same choices lead to the same behaviors. The same behaviors will create the same experiences. And the same experiences produce the very same emotions. And those same emotions influence a person's very same thoughts. And their biology, their neurocircuitry, their neurochemistry, their hormones, and even their gene expression stays the same because they're staying the same. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do think that if you think differently and you learn new information and you have new thoughts, if you can make new choices and demonstrate new behaviors and create new experiences and arrive at new goals and feel new emotions, I would say that's evolution. And I think that people really, really secretly believe in themselves on some level. And I think being defined by a vision of the future, or really always dreaming of another great experience, I think is a great reason to wake up in the morning. And it's so much easier to make the same choice every single day. And the hardest part about change is not making the same choice as you did the day before. And the moment you decide to make a different choice, you're going to feel uncomfortable because you're stepping from the known into the unknown. So some people would rather cling to their self-pity than take a chance and possibility. They'd rather tell the story of their past instead of telling the story of their future. They'd rather believe in their past instead of believe in their future. It's so much more important, though, to romance your future instead of romance your past. And I think if people understood that they could actually arrive at it, I think many people have done this already in their life. I think everybody, at least once in their life, has done something great. And when they did something great, they just made up their mind.